Hey guys, welcome to a patch making video for the Grandmother. In this video, we're going to be making that vocal lead patch from Daft Punk's Da Funk song. And it goes something like this. So let's get started. So I've initialized the basic patch. We just have a standard sound like this now. So if we wanted to add a bit of that angry vocalish sound, one trick we can do is run the mixer output through the high pass filter and then back into the noise input. So we're creating a feedback cycle that is first high pass filtered. So instead of having noise now, we can control how much of that signal we get back in. So now we can bring this up and blend it in. So I only have oscillator 1, so I'm going to move this up now. And towards the top, you're going to hear it. You get a nice crunchy distortion. And where it really starts to kind of growl is when you start bringing up the high pass filter. And you want to watch your volume as well because it can get pretty loud. So I find there's a sweet spot around 12 o'clock where you get that kind of angry. It's almost like a distorted wah pedal. And of course we can kind of smooth that out by closing the low pass filter. So already we're getting pretty close to that Daft Funk sound. You just have to kind of play this by hand. But of course we can do better than that. We can start adding some hard sync to get that classic hard sync sound. So in order to get that effect, you have to turn up oscillator 2. And we're going to turn on hard sync. So we're getting that similar kind of angry sound. And what I'd like to do is switch over to square waves, which I find sound nice when you're trying to do kind of a vocal effect. So since we have two knobs that kind of give us that vocalish effect, this one here and this one here. If we wanted to free up so that obviously we need one hand to play the melody, we can't have two hands controlling these at the same time. So one thing we can do is add external modulation to this knob here via the pitch input of oscillator 2. And what we're going to do is assign the envelope generator, which again is a shape that kind of triggers when you press the key down. So first I'm going to run it through the attenuator here. That way we control the amount of envelope contribution to the pitch of oscillator 2, because it can get pretty sensitive otherwise. And then we can patch the attenuator into the pitch input here and then set this to 0. And then just to hear the effect, I'm going to exaggerate the shape of the envelope generator here, increase the attack, and then we can bring up the amount here. You can hear that the shape of the envelope is changing that sync effect. And of course we can make it more punchy. Now we have these two knobs that are... And then at this point, it's all about kind of fine-tuning and experimenting to get closer to the sound you want. You can play with some of the filter. You can play with the amount here. You can play with the octaves as well, and even the shapes. There's a lot of flexibility to get different tweaks on the sound. It's all about finding the sweet spots, because if you exaggerate the oscillator 2 sync, you get too much of an exaggerated like laser beam effect like this. And we don't want that because it distracts away from the sound. You just want to find just enough to get that wow kind of vocal. So you see here, it sounds very wow. And of course, we can exaggerate that by changing the high pass filter with our hands as well and kind of mimicking that shape. And then the final ingredient to get that Daft Funk sound is you want to get some glide so that you're kind of slurring your lines. And of course, we can bring up some reverb to add a bit of ambience. So if you wanted to take this patch and make it your own and tweak it, the parameters I would look at are the high pass filter knob, the attenuator for the envelope contribution to the pitch, and then maybe the waveforms of the oscillators. Those would give you, I guess, the most bang for buck. And since we're making heavy use of the envelope generator for the pitch control, it's really important how you play the song as well. If you play all legato all the time, you're not going to let the envelope have time to re-trigger itself properly. So if you're going to get those proper vocal envelopes for every note, you want to make sure that you're letting go as you're playing, as opposed to which you lose that envelope shape. So you want to kind of accent that on every note. All right, I'm going to wrap it up there. Hopefully you learned something today. And if not, maybe you'll learn something in the next one. So I'll see you guys later.